From KJRH in Tulsa, Karen Keith and meteorologist Jeff Lazalier. This is Newscenter 2's Midday, Oklahoma.
Hello and welcome to Midday, Oklahoma. The mayor's here today and we'll open the phone lines for your questions. Chef Jacques Lizenet from the Westin is back cooking something absolutely delicious in the Midday kitchen. And green grocer Joe Cart.
Bill Shield, Newscenter 2.
A traffic light and a pedestrian bridge may be built if Riverside is ever expanded to 6 lanes. The street department says the expansion is not currently funded. There won't be any changes in Tulsa's pornography ordinance for a while. That's because Tulsa Mayor Terry Young has postponed a request by the Tulsa chapter of the National Federation for Decency to update the ordinance. The issue was tabled in their retirement benefits, an average of 11%. The bill also provides a 6% cost of living raise for retired teachers starting next year. Supporters say the bill still keeps $175 million aside to put into savings. This makes Oklahoma's retirement system the strongest in the nation. The bill will extend the deadline for those choosing to rejoin the fund. A sergeant kicked off the Tulsa police force yesterday, says he'll appeal the firing. Police Chief Bob Dick removed Sergeant George Beard from duty yesterday for unnecessary use of force. On May 7th, Beard reportedly kicked a handcuffed suspect, and officers at the scene say he also fired an unnecessary warning shot. Beard was with the department for 13 years. Suspended Bixby City Manager. The search continues right now for a Tulsa man wanted in connection with the shooting of his neighbor late last night. Police say they're looking for 49-year-old Florizel Becknell. He's accused of shooting 46-year-old Harold Sanders at his home. Tulsa take a stand on the laws against pornography. We'll check with the mayor next.
That we had last night does meet constitutional requirements and does achieve some of the protection of minors' interests that was desired, and it replaces an existing ordinance, which I think is terrible. The existing ordinance has a juvenile book review board that I've never heard of. It's supposed to be appointed by the mayor, but it's obviously been dormant for years, and that sort of board doesn't appeal to me very much. It's like one step before book burning, I think, and I'm not interested in seeing us get into that sort of posture. So the ordinance we proposed actually modifies and makes much more sense than what we currently have on the books, and I think would be
to keep the books out of the reach of minors.
Well, it doesn't specifically say that, but it gives the city government the opportunity to respond to complaints, and if we find that the display of those materials for sale is not in the best interest of minors, then we would have the right to take those steps.
Okay, let's get to some of the questions. You're on the air. Go ahead.
Yes, changing the subject a little bit, I'd like to ask the mayor when we might expect to see work started on the extension of the Mingo Valley Expressway.
Well, the work on extending it is ongoing at all times. We have presently work about to begin to extend it from 51st Street to 71st Street. Work was completed about a year and a half ago on the extension out.
Go ahead.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I was just wondering why you felt like with our tight budget, which Tulsa supposedly has, did you feel that it was all right to spend our tax dollars to send what I think were politically motivated congratulations to all these high school graduates here in Tulsa? Don't you think our tax dollars could be spent better somewhere else and not look so much like you're trying to buy votes?
Well, that's just a matter of opinion. I certainly don't agree with the inference that you make. Goodness, I would imagine $1,500 probably total. We hand-delivered them to the schools, so there would not be any mail involved, and when we ran out of time in getting them to the schools to put in the packets, then I went out and bought a roll of postage stamps, and we mailed the rest of them at my own expense, so it wasn't any big deal. The interesting thing, those like this gentleman who called who want to try to put everything in a political context can certainly do it, and I understand that being in this business, they're going to take pot shots at you all the time. But my goodness, every congressman in the United States sends some congratulatory recognition to high school students. I'd like
to know if there's any way on earth that you can stop the pornography coming through the computer modulars and things.
Coming through what?
Computer modulars, she said.
Say that again.
Computer modulars. They're the things that you plug in that you can call all over the country.
since I don't make those calls, I don't know what we're talking about.
Okay.
Regulation of the telephone.
Your time, and thanks to all the callers out there. We appreciate that also. The skies are clear blue and the sun is shining. What more could you ask for? Jeff will be here next with the weather. It is absolutely gorgeous out there.
Yes, we're having a very nice day, and we deserve it after all that rain we've put up with for the past couple of weeks.
Absolutely. You know, the folks in Sperry and Sky took a looking at the skies.
What is
Very
that big
happy. Yeah, what
yellow
is that?
thing up there? Yeah, well, it's the sun, and it's going to stay with us for a few days, I think. Some very nice weather coming up. The chances for rain staying pretty minimal. There are a few clouds up in Kansas. They may start to move down into northeastern Oklahoma this afternoon, but we're going to see the sun in between them. So we're going to look for partly to mostly sunny skies through much of the rest of the day and very good drying conditions. Let's take a look at our current conditions. Right now with mostly sunny skies in Tulsa, it's 70 outside. We are starting to warm up. The dew point at 47, so a dry day in progress. Thank goodness. The humidity already down to 41%. That's good to help dry out the fields and the lawns and all the gardens too. North winds at 15, providing good drying conditions, evaporating the moisture pretty quickly, and the barometer now rising. Our map shows that this morning's low temperatures quite a bit cooler than normal for mid-June, basically. 30 stretched all the way down from the Colorado Rockies up through western sections of Nebraska, the high plains of South Dakota, and all the way up through portions of North Dakota and into the Great Lakes states. Let's take a look at some of the record lows that were set this morning. We'll be able to see 31 degrees came in from Casper, Wyoming, 35 at Rapid City, Madison, Wisconsin, 38, Kansas City International Airport dropped to 50, and North Platte, Nebraska had 40 for a record low. Most of those, of course, as you can see in the central part of the country, and those chilly temperatures dropped all the way down. Chanute was 49 this morning, Wichita was 50 even, and here in Tulsa we saw a low temperature was not a record, but it was 56 degrees, 6 degrees above the record for this date, which was set back in 1913. However, 56 degrees is pretty cool for this time of year. Normally we see normal low temperatures of 56 back in the early part of May. Our normal low for this time of year is 67. The normal high is 87. Yesterday's high was 80. We're probably going to get into the upper 70s this afternoon. The pollution this morning is in the good category still, but it's starting to rise some. It's up to 34, and the pollen is way up this morning, up above 1,500, most of that being mold spores. Current temperatures across the region mainly in the 60s and 70s. Here in Tulsa, 70 degrees even, 72 degrees in Muskogee. Over toward Enid, they're at 69 and it's 70 in Oklahoma City. To the east, only one report from Fort Smith, 73. And down at Page on the Mountain, they're at cool 62. They're starting to warm up in Joplin with 66, and Chanute is on the way up too at 61. Here's our satellite photo. A lot of white, puffy things down to the south. Those are thunderstorms along the Gulf of Mexico and the Gulf Coast, scattered on over toward Florida, and more thunderstorms are expected to erupt over much of the southeast and the mid-Atlantic states today. A lot of clouds starting to sweep in behind the cold front that's moving off to the east at this time. This is the same cold front that brought us the very heavy rains back on Monday and Tuesday, and it's now moving well to the east and will stay well to the east of us. So the chances for rain not very good today or tomorrow. However, there is a weak system that's back up in this area of the Pacific Northwest, and that might try to just barely scrape across the central and southern plains over the next couple of days, and that might give us about a 1 in 10 shot for a couple of isolated showers Thursday night and Friday. Now, it looks like we're going to end up seeing a few of these clouds that are up in Nebraska and northeastern Kansas sort of drift on down across portions of Oklahoma. But again, they are breaking up and starting to dry up at this time, meaning that the sun is starting to burn some of them off. So we're going to end up seeing only a few clouds around. This afternoon's map calls for high pressure to continue to sink down. That's going to calm our winds tonight and make us have another chilly night tomorrow morning. But as you can see, the closest rain will be way down in the southern portions of Texas. And here's our forecast for this afternoon. Partly to mostly sunny skies, mild conditions, north winds at 5 to 15. Then tonight, fair but cool with light winds and patchy ground fog possible by sunrise. Temperatures today should be in the mid to upper 70s in Tulsa 78, McAllister 79. Lows tonight dropping into the 50s over much of the area. Fayetteville, though, 47. Here in Tulsa, 55. And our 4-day forecast holds a lot of sunshine and gradually warming conditions as we head across the way right on into the weekend. By Saturday, I think we're going to warm back up to more summer-like readings rather than May-like readings. 90 for a high with mostly sunny skies. So enjoy it while we've got it. Drying conditions and mild temperatures.
That's a decent forecast.
No one should complain today.
No, thank you, Jeff. It's time to start picking corn on the cob, and Chef Jacques is in the kitchen with a tasty pasta recipe. Varieties is making a comeback, and Joe Carcione says you may also see a new variety. Chef, an Italian chef, or what hat are you wearing?
Today I will be making some Italian food, what is linguine pomodoro.
Okay.
So what I did, I brought with me some different linguine here. I brought some red one who are tomatoes and some green one who are made out of spinach.
Looks good. I've never seen red before.
Yeah, that is made with a tomato base. What is a good taste to it. But it's a very easy dish to do. First thing you do there, you take some, like I did here, some hams. You saute your ham. Take some broccoli, or you can use different kind of vegetables if you want, like asparagus.
That looks like it was pre-steamed, was it?
Yeah, it was a little bit steamed. Some peas. We give a nice color. Like all Italian, of course, a little bit tomatoes. So very fine. It takes only a few seconds to cook.
It's real pretty.
And after you take them out of your water, you just add it to your garnish.
Real nice.
And that'll put
And
a nice salad with it, and you got yourself a nice meal.
Mmm. That's lovely. The ham really comes through. Chef Jacques, thank you very much. You'll be back next month. We appreciate it. And of course, if you'd like a copy of today's recipe, send a self-addressed stamped envelope. Send it to us this time at P.O. Box 2, Tulsa 74101. Be sure to mark it Chef Jacques Linguini. We've been telling you how you can give someone a second chance at life. Coming up, you'll meet the wife of a man who did just that. Life for others. Janice Richardson knows how it feels to lose a life and save one. 8 months ago, her husband, Channel 2 is co-sponsoring the Second Chance program. If you'd like a donor card, write TV2 donor card, Box 2, Tulsa 74101, or stop by our studios here on South Peoria. Coming up tonight at 6 on Newscenter 2, Rick Peterson will have an update on the cleanup from this week's flood. Join them tonight at 6, and we'll see you tomorrow.
From KJRH in Tulsa, Karen Keith and meteorologist Jeff Lazalier. This is Newscenter 2's Midday, Oklahoma.
Hello and welcome to Midday, Oklahoma. Today, Lou Horton is here to tell you about an exchange program in the works with Tulsa's sister city. Chef David Rivest from the French Hen is in the Midday kitchen putting together his favorite pasta dish. And greengrocer Joe Carcione says it's time to try some blueberries. But first, the news status of the remaining hostages from the TWA jetliner in Beirut. The plane is still on the ground there, but leaders of your family. Find out how you can get involved and show off the sights of Tulsa. Would like to get involved, be sure and call that number, and your kids would enjoy it as much as you would. Thank you, Lou.
Thank you.
We've had some showers passing through our area. Should you pack a beach towel or an umbrella for the afternoon? Jeff will be here to tell you next. Did I see the sun out there a little while ago?
Probably saw a little bit of the sun out there. We've got some breaks in those clouds, which is good news and bad news, because if we get a lot of afternoon heating, that could mean some stronger thunderstorms.
However, it's Monday, and the showers are here.
Right.
That's becoming typical.
That's right. But at least we didn't have it over the weekend.
No
We did have an absolutely outstanding weekend, a little hazy conditions, a little humid too, but overall pretty nice weather. And it looks like as we get into the middle portion of the week, we're going to be back to nice weather, but we're going to put up with some showers and thunderstorms today, and probably maybe one or two tomorrow afternoon. Let's take a look at our current conditions. 85 degrees right now in Tulsa, the dew point at 69. Humidity this hour is still kind of high for that temperature at 59%. The winds are westerly at 14, but they're also gusting up to 23 miles an hour around the area right now. That shows that the cool front is just to the north of Tulsa. The barometer right now rising 29.88 inches of mercury. Now our almanac, this morning's low 78 degrees, and yesterday's high was a sultry 91. That compares to 88 for the normal high this time of year, and 68 is the normal low, so we've been well above that. 52 is our record low, set back in 1960, and the record high was 102, set back in 1925. Now as far as this morning's pollution, it was up a bit. Mainly ozone, 46, that's still in the good category for Tulsa, and our pollen count is well up above 2,000, that's creeping into the bad category. As far as our current temperatures go across the area, it's 85 muggy degrees here in Tulsa, it's 81 with a thunder shower around the Bartlesville area. There is that cool front that's stretching between Bartlesville and Tulsa. It stretches on down to the south of Ponca City and also south of Enid. They have breezy northerly winds over there and 76 degrees right now. Still south to southwesterly winds in Oklahoma City and 86 at this hour, 87 in McAllister, 86 in Muskogee at this time, and 83 degrees up in Joplin. Winds are starting to shift to the west-southwest there, indicating that that front isn't very far from the Joplin area as well. To the north of the front, as you can see, Chanute is only at 72 and Wichita only at 75. They do have breezy northerly winds, keeping conditions a bit milder there. So temperatures behind the front will still warm a few degrees this afternoon, but not quite as much as what we're going to see down across the southern half of Oklahoma, especially south of I-40, where temperatures should be in the low to mid-90s for afternoon highs, and that in itself could prompt a few heavy thunderstorms. Our satellite photo shows that we do have quite a bit of scattered thunderstorm activity across Missouri and the northern sections of Arkansas. Other scattered thunderstorms are more widely scattered across Oklahoma and southern Kansas, and these aren't nearly as heavy as what we're seeing over in this area. The very brightest white clouds indicate the heaviest thunderstorms. Let's check out our nearby thunder shower activity on Storm Surge radar at this time if we can. There we go. You can see a few scattered showers generally now to the east of Bartlesville, and maybe one close to Ramona or north of Vera, and a couple other scattered showers out by the Stillwater area, scattered on down across Lincoln County into the northern sections of Pottawatomie County. This activity has been moving to the east-northeast at about 20 to 25 miles an hour throughout the morning, and at this time it's considerably less as far as aerial coverage goes than what we've been seeing over the past 2 to 3 hours. Now let's take a look at our map. By late today, there will be a pretty good chance for redeveloping showers and thunder showers around Oklahoma as that front continues to sink to the southeast. Behind it, milder air flowing in. This large area of high pressure will be sinking in over the next couple of days, and that should lend its hand to giving us some pretty nice weather toward the mid-portion of the week. As far as severe weather goes this afternoon, the best chance will be across northern Arkansas, much of Missouri, and on into the Ohio Valley. Here in Oklahoma, we may see 1 or 2 severe thunderstorms. That same chance even less, though, up in extreme southern Kansas. So this afternoon, a few scattered showers and thunderstorms around, but for the most part, not too many. It's going to be heating up. It'll be hazy and humid, especially to the south of the front, with breezy south-southwesterly winds. Around the front and behind it, winds shifting to the north. Then all across the area by tonight, winds will be northerly at 8 to 18 miles an hour. Mostly cloudy skies staying with us. Scattered showers and thunder showers continuing with us as well, but they'll be ending later tonight. Today's highs up to 89 in Tulsa. Look for 94 in McAllister, only 86 in Bartlesville, and maybe as warm as 84 in Ponca City. Tonight's lows into the 60s as milder air drops in, 65 in Tulsa. Our 4-day forecast calls for milder air as we head into the mid-portion of the week. We will have about a 20 to 25% chance for a couple of showers around by tomorrow afternoon as a weekend pulse comes by. Temperatures should be in the low to mid-80s for highs, and then we're going to have a couple of mild days Wednesday and Thursday, low to mid-80s again for highs at that time, and temperatures at night will be up back into the 50s.
That's a great forecast,
I think
Jeff.
It's not all that bad.
Good. And what is tortellini, and how can you cook with it? You're going to find out next from Chef David.
During the 3rd annual Special Olympics Fishing Classic at Lake Fort Gibson on June 29th. Specially tagged fish worth from $100 to $5,000 are waiting just for you. And lots of other prizes, too. Your tax-deductible donation benefits the Oklahoma Special Olympics. So, join me June 29th at Lake Fort Gibson. We'll be giving special athletes a chance to be winners, too.
Joe Carcione, the green grocer, says this is blueberry time. And that supply of blueberries is increasing, and that means
grieving families, transplants offer a second chance to grant new life to those who wait. For the desperate ill, it means a second chance for a healthy life. And for each of us, a second chance to be part of a medical miracle. Please talk with your family about becoming an organ donor and carry a donor card. It will give someone a second chance.
organ transplants are becoming more common every day. They help save lives and they have a high success rate. But in order for a transplant to occur, organs must be donated. Unfortunately, not many people think about donating their organs while they're alive. How Oklahomans are responding to it. And Kim Graham will tell you about a unique learning experience for some young people. We'll see you again tomorrow at 11:30. Be sure to stay tuned to Channel 2 for updates on the hijacking of Flight 847. Enjoy your afternoon.
If you have a consumer complaint or a problem we can help you with, call the Newscenter 2 troubleshooter at 742-NEWS.